Hi, everybody. I hope you are having what is the rest of this weekend. I hope it's wonderful. Quickly, before we get started, I do have this week's One Hope. One Hope wine. This is a Chardonnay. It's very good. Again, not sponsored, but it could be. I always like to say when I think of things like that, yet. We're not sponsored yet. But okay. Let me just start by saying we're getting real fancy with this broadcast now. We are up to almost 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel. And that makes my heart very, very happy. My heart is very, very happy about that. Got a lot of good feedback from video 3 that I did around the Craven County property tax revaluation and the process that I'm going through and kind of helping others. It's gotten a lot of really good feedback. I've got a lot of really good questions. But before we go any further, I just have to say
that I am not affiliated with the Fairfield Harbour Property Owners Association office or anyone else that represents our community as a whole global body. I just live here.
Okay. And so with that disclaimer behind us, I hope you have your calendar. We had a lot of things going on this weekend. I did not make it to the 18-hole tournament. That golf's not my thing yet. But there was the 18-hole dice game on Saturday, and that sounded like a lot of fun. So if you participated in that, I didn't see a lot of things on the Facebook or the next door or anything like that about it, but I would love to know more about that. Hopefully someone's writing a Beacon article about it. Or if you attended the Fishermen and Boaters flea market, that looked like a lot of fun and like there was going to be a lot of information there or a lot of things for sale. I did participate in the RCS clothing drive, and when I got there a little before it opened on Saturday morning. I think it was from 10 to 1 on Saturday. And I got there a little early, but Julia was there and I got to meet her, and that was a delight. So nice to meet you, Julia, in person. And she had told me that the day before was like the biggest day of donations that they have ever experienced. So I am so proud of our community for coming together and donating what you could to those in need through RCS. I did see when I posted like a quick reminder on Facebook on a couple of our channels, people asking like, what time are you there today? I have a ton of kids' clothes, or how can I donate? I still need to clean out my closet. I saw someone, I don't know if it was Patricia or who, but added a link to RCS. So it's very hard to keep up with all of the community channels for our singular neighborhood. So I don't remember where that was posted, but if you have questions, you can DM me and I will be DM meaning direct message, and I will be more than happy to get that information to you. But sticking with our beautiful Fairfield Harbor calendar, again, only $5 at the office if you don't have one yet. We're on the last week of March. Can you even believe it? So we're my kids are less than 40 school days from the end of the school year. Then we have the whole summer to look forward to. But this week, we have trash day is tomorrow on the 27th. Recycling day is on Tuesday, the 28th. So don't forget to take your recycling out if you have it. The 29th is going to be the hospital auxiliary spring potluck. And the reason why I'm telling you these things to mark on your calendar if you don't have them already is because I didn't see them in the newsletter that we're going to go through in this recording. So anyway, the hospital auxiliary spring potluck is on Wednesday. Then don't forget this coming Saturday, April the 1st. It is not only April Fool's Day, but it is also the parking lot sale. And in conjunction with the parking lot sale, the Fairfield Harbor Hospital Auxiliary will also be doing a bake sale to help raise money to support that group in its support of those patients and providers at our local hospital. And I think that's all that's going on this week that I have on the calendar. Let's see if there's anything in the newsletter that we'll be adding. All right. So with that, let's see here. Oh, There it is. Look, technology. I'm getting good at it. All right. So this is our newsletter. As always, if you have questions that are for the office, maybe you have questions about your dues payment and how to get those in, maybe you have questions or want to make an appointment to have printing, copying, scanning done, whatever you need the office for. You can always call them at 252-633-5500. And if you have questions for the security gate, by all means, feel free to call them. It is 252-636-5566. Again, there's a wealth of information on FH-POA.com. And there's the office hours, etc., at the top of our newsletter every time. There's also the beacon here. So if you want to link through to the beacon, and if you have information that you'd like to share with the beacon, please go ahead and do that. There's a fhbeaconnews@gmail.com that is regularly monitored for new content coming in. All right. We have Recycle Day on the 28th, which we talked about, and the parking lot sale coming up on the 1st. The next Property Control Committee meeting is going to be on April the 13th. So if you have something that you would like to put in front of the Property Control Committee for maybe a permit, or they've asked you for additional information and you need to get that in, your deadline will be April the 11th at noon to have that information turned in for the agenda on April the 13th. Okay. Then we have Alex Williams is coming April the 15th. That's going to be a lot of fun. He was a former member of Kool and the Gang, one of my very first tapes I ever bought with my own money. And then we have our regular board meeting happens on April the 18th. This is your last chance to attend a board meeting before you make your decision if you want to be one of the three or one of the candidates running for one of three open board of director positions on our Property Owners Association committee. So I have a whole nother video prepared for that. So stay tuned. And then our spring cleanup is happening March the 6th through April the 7th. So we're working through that calendar that we've been going over for the past several weeks. And this is the second to the last week. So next week, they'll be wrapping up the spring cleanup. If you have questions about that, feel free to call the office. Again, that number is 252-633-5500. Okay. Save the date. Again, April 15th. He's going to be doing live beach music. I love some beach music, especially now that we live on the coast. 6 p.m. at Pelican Park. Please come prepared to dance and show Alex some love. We do plan to be there. I have several things on my calendar that day. So yes, we do plan to be there. There will be food trucks on site with free popcorn and a chance to raffle prizes for adults. And then don't forget this coming weekend, again, we have the Fairfield Harbour Community Parking Lot Sale on April the 1st. The rain date will be April the 8th. And that is, I think there are spaces still available here. So yes, so if you would like a space, they are $5 and you can just go to the POA office to pay that fee and get yourself a space for the parking lot sale. Cindy's quote for this week: a flower does not think of competing to the flower next to it. It just blooms, by Zen Shin. So true. Comparison is the root of all evil. All right. New residents, please don't forget to go in and register at the office. And I know I'm probably like a broken record, so I'm not going to belabor this point. But if you are new here, we are so glad you are here. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the community. Feel free to just jump on into the socials. They're a lot of fun. There are lots of people in this community happy to welcome you. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out and ask questions. And if you don't know where to go or where to start, call the office and they can more than likely tell you, oh my gosh, this person in the neighborhood does great work with this, or call this person. They're great connecting device for us, the POA office. So feel free. There's also a 90-minute new resident orientation that happens every Friday. It's plus or minus 90 minutes. So, but it's a great opportunity to learn more about our community, what we do, how we operate. It's just a really great way to start getting acclimated quickly. So please feel free to go do that. And we have an article later on in the newsletter about the gates up front. But if you need a decal to be able to go in and out of the gate without punching in the code or stopping by the gate attendants, by all means, run into the office. Your first, I think, 2 decals per residence are free. And then after that, they're $5 each. But if you need a new decal because you're new here, or if you have purchased a new vehicle and need a new decal, or you've updated a tag or anything like that, please feel free to pop into the office and update your information. They'll be more than happy to get you whatever you need to make sure that there's no issues with you coming in and out of our neighborhood. All right, and the payment portal. Don't forget, dues are due by May 1st. So if you've not paid dues yet and you want to run for one of the 3 open board of director positions on the Property Owners Association, you need to pay your dues by May the 1st. Any dues, fines, other fees associated with living here. If you have questions about whether or not there's anything on your account that you owe, call the office. They'll be more than happy to tell you that information. But you can always pay online. You can drop a check into the box if the office is closed. You can drop off a check like I did personally to the office, just so I could see some humans that day that were older than the age of 10. And there's also an app that you can go on, so you can log in to the app Folio, which is part of our Fairfield Harbour residents. You register for a username and password, and you can also pay your dues that way. You can also set up auto pay. So if you go ahead and do that now in the month of March, it will draft your account every month for an equal portion of the annual dues fees, and that comes out month over month. And then by the time dues come out next March, you'll already be paid for. You won't have to worry about it. These earrings are driving me nuts because I hear them in my headphones, but I'm using my headphones because I have this new thing that makes all the fun noises. All right. So there is, I think I talked through all of that. Faxing, scanning, copying services, as well as notary, are also available at the front desk. So if you need anything, or at the office, if you need anything like that, feel free to call ahead, make sure that no one's using those. They like it to be by appointment so they understand the need, and make sure that you have everything available to you that you need when you need it. So please call the office and make an appointment if any of those services would be valuable to you. Sorry, Siri popped up on my computer and I'm not sure why. All right. So we talked about this a few times. Call for nominations for 3 open Fairfield Harbour Property Owners Association director positions. They have been announced with the dues notices that came out in March. Nomination packets can be picked up in the office or downloaded from the Fairfield Harbour Property Owners Association website. If you have an interest in coming to the board meeting in April, please contact the office. Again, that board meeting is going to be April the 18th. They usually start around 9 o'clock. And you just need to let someone in the office know that you're planning to come so that they can make sure that there is room for you at the board table. And if you can't be there after you say that you're going to be, like me I was trying to go to the March meeting, but I had 2 sick kids at home that day. So I called to let them know that I was not going to be there. That way, if there was someone else wanting to go, they could go in my place. But please call and let them know if something changes and you're not able to make it, just so that they can plan accordingly. But April the 18th is your last opportunity to attend a Property Owners Association Board of Directors meeting prior to announcing whether or not you would like to run for one of 3 open board of director positions. So please make it a point to do that. I think it's important to be informed prior to making a decision like that. It's a huge time commitment. It's a huge commitment to those of us that live in the community that look to the board for direction and communication. So please don't take it light, okay? We need people to be working for us. So having said that, I will show you quickly if I'm still logged in. Let's see. Yes. So I quickly logged into FrontSteps. This is our Fairfield Harbour Properties Owners Association page. These are just some of the latest news. Again, I will put in a brief plug for the fact that FrontSteps also has a mobile app for your phone that has every time latest community news, someone puts something out there on this page, it comes through to my phone and I get a notification about it, kind of like a Facebook's Instagram situation. But if we go here to documents and FAQs and click on documents, Again, these are behind a firewall requiring a username and password to log in. So this is not anything that you would be able to get to if you are not registered in FrontSteps and do not have this information available to you. But if you want to run for the board and you have not signed up for FrontSteps or have issues signing up for FrontSteps, you can always call the office and get help. But they also have these nomination packets available in the office for you to go by and pick up. And paper form. So, but we're going to click here on election guidelines and applications. It's this bottom file folder here. And then down here, there is a candidate nomination form. So if you click on that, it will pop up in your browser. There's a brief letter. There's the actual application information. And I use a Mac, not a Windows machine, but you can click on download here. And I believe I pulled it up on this computer that sits behind me all the time. And you can, it is a Windows machine. There is a download button. So you can download it there and complete the form. You can print it and complete it, or you can complete it electronically. All right. So that's how you navigate to the nomination packet itself. But again, if you have any questions or you just want a hard copy of the nomination form, please feel free to go by the office. I also saw someone put out on Facebook, maybe it was Phil Yandel, that he has a handful of questions that he would like for candidates to answer. I know that candidate night is scheduled for 6 p.m. on May the 10th, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of that. I don't know, Phil, or anyone else, if you have questions that you want the board to answer, if the office is accepting those answers or those questions that you would like to have answered by those candidates running, maybe call the office and ask. I think it's a great idea to have questions that could be submitted prior, just to make sure we don't have duplication and to make sure that candidates could get those questions ahead of time to prepare their answers, just so there's not any dead space in that meeting. I can only imagine it's going to be a meeting that is chock full of intros and niceties and getting to the meat of what we're there to discuss. But it would be nice for folks to have those questions ahead of time to be able to prepare an answer, so that we're not thinking on cue and we have the ability to create a concise, comprehensive answer to the questions. I've done Toastmasters for a number of years, and so kind of talking off the cuff is not necessarily an issue for me, but then I always leave and I'm like, God, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have said that. So it'd be nice to have those questions ahead of time. So maybe call the office and ask if they're accepting questions that could be compiled, again, to make sure that there's no duplication of questions and that we're making the best use of the time on May the 10th. From the clubhouse. All right, these are golf course updates. So the Pick a Pro is happening on April the 8th. Keep in mind, that's also the rain date for the parking lot sale, okay? But on April the 8th, they will be running a Pick a Masters Pro tournament. How it works: you'll get your own group together and make a tee time anytime on April the 8th. When checking in for your tee time, you'll pay $5 at the counter and pick a Masters Pro out of a hat. Your net score plus whatever the Masters player shoots on Sunday will be your team score. There will be a men's and women's division. Results and prizes will be sent out the following day. Be sure to call and book your tee time before they fill up. Members can book 14 days in advance, which we're within that window now, and the public can book 7 days in advance. And then the golf course will be closed on April the 15th. So April the 15th, again, that's when Alex Williams is coming to play beach music at Pelican Park at 6 p.m. The golf course will be closed that day because it's the annual Navy League tournament. That's also tax day. Let's see. Those are the 3 things I'm tracking for April the 15th. But this is our annual Navy League tournament. If you would like to play, there is a brochure and sign up at the Pro Shop. And there's new Pro Shop inventory to be hauled. It is beautiful. I've been in the Pro Shop a few times now, grabbing lunch or dinner at the restaurant. But the Monterey Ladies Spring line has arrived in the shop, and it looks great. There are a variety of colors and sleeveless and short sleeve options to choose from. Much of the winter items are going to go on sale in the coming weeks, so be on the lookout for those sale prices. Men's and women's hats are also starting to arrive, along with martini tees, divot tools, and ball markers. Who doesn't love a martini? Go get those teas. Yes. The golf shop is fully stocked for the spring, so be sure to support your local club for your golfing needs. It is a really, I mean, I don't play golf, but it is a really well-stocked golf pro shop, in my opinion. I'm going to make this smaller so we can see it, but this looks like a lot of fun. I read it earlier. All right, Tuesday, March 28th. That's this coming Tuesday. What are other things that are happening on March 28th? Oh, it's recycling day, right? Yes, recycling day. So put your recycling out in the morning, and then at 6:30, head on over to the restaurant for dinner. All inclusive, $40. You will probably want to make a reservation for this. But Murdered the Pinkerton Man by Bill Hand is a comic murder mystery about actors, soldiers, a treasure, and the Civil War. Its mystery dinner theater includes a show, Tuscan cream chicken, dessert, soft drink, tax, and gratuity. So if you would like to go on March 28th and participate in this murder mystery dinner theater, which sounds fun, please feel free to call the Pointe. The Pointe's phone number is 252-385-5225. I hate that we can't go to things like that. It sounds like a ton of fun. My boys have jujitsu, or I'm sorry, my daughter has taekwondo now. She got promoted to her green belt at Empowered Taekwondo with Master Hama last Saturday. So her classes moved from Monday, Wednesday to Tuesday, Thursday. So we're not around them. All right, the Pointe Restaurant. So again, always call the Pointe if you'd like to make a reservation and guarantee yourself a spot at the table. You can always call them at 252-385-5225. Again, their hours are Saturday and Sunday from 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. Lunch is Wednesday to Sunday, 10:30 to 5, and dinner Wednesday to Saturday, 5 to 9. Let's see. This Thursday, there's live music. It's going to be Brian Mack on March the 30th. And our weekly specials this week are spaghetti and meatballs, honey garlic salmon, and don't forget the Friday fish fries. They're so good. It's haddock fries and slaw. And then Blue Moon Jazz was this past weekend, March the 25th. All right, the food truck schedule. The current schedule for March is Tanya's Hella Fat Food on March the 27th this week from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. and again from 5 to 7. And then on the 28th, 11:30 to 1:30. And Italian night was a hit. Oh my gosh. It's going to be Wednesday nights is going to now be Italian nights. This is very hard to see, so let me blow this back up. All right. Let me just make this so we can try to get it as big as possible. All right, so we have piatto freddo, and piatto is plate in Italian. If you'd like to learn a little word of the day, piatto is plate in Italian. So piatto freddo are cold plates. Okay, so we have Caesar salad, bruschetta, and meatballs. I'm assuming the meatballs are likely warm because they have melted cheese on them. But then piatto giado, those are hot plates. Okay, and they have fettuccine alfredo, capellini, pomodoro, 4-cheese gnocchi, chicken parmesan, shrimp scampi, and dolce, which means sweet in Italian. Dessert is cheesecake, tiramisu, or chocolate decadence. There are also kid pasta plates for $12. And they have wine pairings, buon appetito, served every Wednesday starting at 5 p.m. So again, call and make your reservations, 252-385-5225. Sounds amazing. God. Now I'm going to have to go make myself dinner. Let me get this back down here so I can read. You can see it all. All right, so we have the Easter eggs coming up. Easter egg hunts coming up Saturday, April the 8th. Making sure that that's on my, yes. So April the 8th is the Easter egg hunt at 2 p.m. and the Pick a Pro tournament anytime you pick a tee time that day. But on Saturday, April 8th at Red Sail Park at 2 p.m., the POA and community-sponsored event for the Easter egg hunt. If you like to make candy or monetary donations, they can be dropped off at the POA office or to Morgan Taggart. She lives at 2328 Cara Drive. There are two different areas for this Easter egg hunt. There will be a 5 and under area. Then there will be an area for all kiddos ages 6 and older. We need some helpers that morning to set up and hide Easter eggs. If you'd like to help, please contact Morgan. You can call her at 252-514-8121. And don't forget, if you have any baskets that you'd like to donate, she would love to have those. There are going to be golden eggs out for kids to find. And if a child picks up a golden egg, she would like to have an Easter basket as a prize to give to them. There will also be crafts for the kids and drinks provided. It's a great time and you will not want to miss it. Okay. Chat with Chip. Y'all, I was driving down the road last week and I passed by the community center and said, why are all these cars at the thing? And it took me a minute because I didn't have my calendar with me in the car to realize it was the Chat with Chip thing. And I had just come back from Arapahoe Charter School with my kids in the car. We made a complete U-turn, not in the middle of the road. I went up and turned around at the gates, but went back and that place was packed. I know Jennifer told me through Facebook, I think it was, that there were seats available at the front. When you first walk in and you're met by a gentleman at the door and you walk in and all you see are faces and you have 2 small children with you, you immediately just head to the back because there's no telling what those kiddos are going to need. So I did not look up front for a seat, but that place was packed. I literally started counting when we made our way back to the table, but there were people standing at the back. There was a lady, she was so nice and helped my kids get an afternoon snack so that they didn't break down before dinner. It was standing, like when I tell you, if there were seats at the front, that is great. There were 87 people is what I counted, counting Chip, who was talking on the microphone. And that also missed a few people that had left right after we got there. I was shocked and I was so excited to see that many people turn out. And I think it speaks to the fact that people want to be in community with folks. They want to see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears from our leaders. Chip lives in Fairfield Harbor, which is great. Lots of people asked him about his pups and whether or not they'd come over and pet them. And I thought that was super sweet. But I think, as we think about the board of director positions that are open right now, what I saw compared to other community events that we have been to, I think it speaks very loudly to the fact that people want to be in the same room and hear the same message and be a part and hear from leaders in the community. There were so many really great questions from the health and the safety of our schools all the way to the speed limit on Broad Creek and how safe we feel Fairfield Harbor is as a community. So many really great questions. So yeah, I was so glad to see it. But Sheriff Hughes, he came to meet with our community on Wednesday this week. Again, I counted 87 people, and there were several people that left as we got there. It was a great turnout, and the sheriff was full of information comparing to statistics from years past, focused on the drug trafficking arrests that his deputies made recently. He also mentioned the comparatively low crime of Fairfield Harbor and how much he enjoys living here. We enjoy having him here. Of course, he is such an asset to Craven County. Volunteer positions are available at the sheriff's office. Someone asked this, and I thought he gave a really great answer. And I'm going to expand on this statement in the newsletter. Let me just let you see my face while I say this. Okay, so he said, someone asked him the thing, how do we get involved with the sheriff's department? If we have time, can we come and volunteer? He said, absolutely. And what he actually said was, I think the first step is for you to come down. Let's have a conversation. I'll take you on a tour around the place, show you the different areas. And then you tell me what you want to do. Where do your strengths lie? Do you want to learn something new? Is there a place specifically that you have in mind that you want to volunteer? And he will make sure that he connects the dots there so that not only are you volunteering in a capacity that is meaningful for you as an individual, but it also gives the sheriff's department an extra set of hands and eyes and ears and mouth to be able to respond to community needs. So I thought that was such a great answer, that we're not just accepting volunteers and you'll do what we ask you to do where there's a need. I'm sure that there are so many needs. There are probably not enough volunteers to answer the call on them all. But the fact that they would be willing to take the time to understand what you'd like to do and where your strengths lie and marry that with the need such that we're maximizing everybody's value. Loved that response. So yes, volunteers are needed. I'll let you stop seeing my face now. Love that response. But if you would like to respond, hold on a second. Let me pull this up because I actually did a post. So many people responded to it, but he talked about the non-emergency Sheriff's Department number. So if you'd like to volunteer, you can contact the Craven County Sheriff's Department. Do not call 911 to do this, okay? There is a non-emergency number for the Sheriff's Department. It is 252-633-2357. Feel free to call them. Tell them that you're interested in volunteering and that you'd like to make an appointment to come down and talk with Chip or someone else at the sheriff's office who could walk you through what that looks like. So again, that number, I'm going to say it slow. Program this into your phone. It is 252-633-2357. And that is the non-emergency phone number to call for the Craven County Sheriff's Department. And thank you so much to our Fairfield Harbor Neighborhood Watch and everyone that helped organize that event. It was so good. So good. I'm so glad that I turned around in the yard. I turned around at the community and went back. All right. So we have spring cleanup. These are the last 2 weeks of spring cleanup. Again, this is for vegetative debris, getting it out of our yard so that our neighborhood looks great for summer and all the guests that we have that come through. Make sure that all of your vegetative debris is out for pickup by 7 a.m. on the Monday of your pickup week. If it's put out after that, it's likely not going to be picked up. This is plant material only. Do not put your household trash or recycling out. And it is helpful if you can put your debris on a tarp, not in bags, please. Branches and limbs must have a diameter of 10 inches or less. That's not an issue. It just has to be able to fit through a chipper or shredder. So this week is Cara, all of it. And that includes Cara Drive, Cassowary, Castleton, Columbus, Cutlass, Falcon, Key, Nova, Peace and Plenty, Petite Terre, Schooner, Santa Lucia, Swallow, and Yachts. And then next week, we wrap up our spring cleanup with Marina Drive and the Birdlands. Okay. And then we have our 2023 events calendar. So April 15th is Alex Williams. We talked about that. He's doing live music, 6 p.m. at Pelican Park. We have the parade on July 4th. Then we have September 15th. Alex is coming back I think he's doing just a live music mix on that night. Let's see. October 21st will be the chili cook-off and cornhole at Red Sail Park. October 29th, there will be a trunk or treat from 3 to 5. And December 3rd will be our annual Fairfield Harbor Christmas Parade. So much fun. And we are also in process of planning a scavenger hunt and 5K race for Fairfield Harbor, so be on the lookout for more information there. Pickleball and tennis, 65 people have participated in the clinics for pickleball and tennis. Great turnout. The mini camps for tennis have been canceled. We are excited about all the positive feedback received. And then just a quick update from security and safety. Warning, ×3 in all caps, underlined, okay? When entering any Fairfield Harbor electronic gate, you must wait, I'm reading it as it sounds, and make sure that the gate has completely gone through its cycle of opening and closing before entering. The gate is timed for one vehicle to enter at a time, and when driving through the resident lane, the gate opens by use of a barcode registered at the barcode reader on the right side of the road. Never assume it will open and keep driving forward. You must visually see that the gate is open for you to enter upon reading your barcode, not the vehicle in front of you. Never assume that just because you have driven past the barcode reader that it will open. As we all know, sometimes electronics and mechanical things fail. or maybe your window has the barcode on it is down. It is your responsibility to make sure that the gate is completely open before proceeding. We've had a few incidents over the past few months with drivers tailgating and entering under the gate, and it is still in its cycle of closing from the previous vehicle. If this happens to you, the POA is not responsible for any damage to your vehicle, and you may be responsible for the damage to the gate arm and motor. If every single case of damage to a vehicle hitting the gate arm, the cameras have shown a clear case of driver error. Don't let this be you. Reprinted from the weekly update in May 14th of 2021 and March 25th of 2022. So what we're doing there is we are demonstrating that we have consistently year over year, 2021, 2022, and now in 2023, made residents aware that the gate has to fully open and close before you go through. It needs to read your barcode individually and uniquely on your vehicle before it opens for you. Do not tailgate. And I'll just tell you, I think this is our last story. Yep, that's the end of the newsletter for this week. Let's get back to a great picture. Let's do the Easter egg hunts. It's almost Easter. All right. And I do that because I am one of those who's like, okay, they went through, the gate starts to come down. I have 100% never had it come down on me or even look like it was going to, but I also don't often wait for it to close because I got places to go. But I do note that if it falls, I'm likely going to have to pay some money to somebody and or fix the gate for the POA office. So just note, don't take the risk, right? That's what we're basically saying. So with that is the newsletter for last week ending March 24th. I hope you have a wonderful week. It is looking beautiful. The cold seems to have snapped. We had some thunderstorms yesterday and today, but I've got my door open here to my right, and I am loving the door open, window open time of the year that we have found ourselves in now. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will talk soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.